off the coast of San Diego. This burn and the subsequent crew module raise burn, that will be a final amendment to the angle of attack of Integrity, all designed to minimize heating effects on Integrity's heat shield. A short time ago, the Spaceflight Meteorology Group briefed the entry flight control team on the latest weather at the splashdown zone where the USS John P. Murtha is stationed, ready to begin recovery operations shortly after splashdown. The weather is ideal, not an issue in the terms of the winds, just 10-knot winds and wave heights less than 4 feet. Expected to greet the crew. There will be some broken and scattered clouds that Integrity will be descending through. But that's not a factor. We are committed, of course, to splashing down today at 7:07 and 7 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset. At this hour, Flight Dynamics reporting that Integrity is 45,534 nautical miles away from Earth, continuing to close in. Its velocity will be accelerating over the next several hours. At the point that we reach the top of the Earth's atmosphere at entry interface at an altitude of 400,000 feet, Integrity and its astronauts will be traveling some 34,882 feet per second with a range to splashdown of 1,701 nautical miles. That velocity will increase slightly to 34,965 feet per second, or 23,839 miles an hour at peak velocity. There will be a series of roll reversals. Those are computer-induced maneuvers that will occur after we complete the blackout period. Actually, there are 2 before, while we are in the blackout period, and 3 more afterwards. Those roll reversals designed to dissipate energy, reducing the speed through the laws of physics to bleed off excess energy as the vehicle points itself toward the splashdown zone prior to going subsonic and then inducing the beginning of the parachute deployment sequence. The crew is expected to pull just under 4 Gs during the maximum G loads on themselves and the vehicle. We have 3 spaceflight veterans and 1 first-time flyer in Jeremy Hansen. Unlike an International Space Station flight of 6 months or more in duration, these are well-skilled astronauts and test pilots. Christina Cook, of course, having returned to Earth, as did Reed Wiseman from his first flight in Soyuz vehicles for parachute-assisted landings in Kazakhstan. Victor Glover flew on a Crew Dragon vehicle. For those keeping track, once again, one of the key periods during the entry into the Earth's atmosphere will be this 6-minute communications blackout that is predicted and is typical.
Integrity. Tank pressures are good for the burn.
Copy that, Jackie. Thank you.
Capcom Jackie Mahaffey saying that all of the systems, including the pressures in the propellant tanks, are in good shape, ready for the RTC-3 burn coming up just 18.5 minutes from now. Once again, the blackout period that will be of great interest to those listening and watching this evening is typical for any spacecraft re-entering the Earth's atmosphere because of the buildup of heat against a returning spacecraft, whether it's Integrity today or a Russian Soyuz vehicle or a SpaceX Dragon. These vehicles have heat shields that are designed to repel the heat. However, there is an ionization around the spacecraft, a buildup of plasma that is caused by the interaction of the velocity of the spacecraft entering the Earth's atmosphere and the friction of the Earth's atmosphere itself. This ionization period, or the blackout period, is expected to last 6 minutes tonight. It is expected to begin at 6:53 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time, just 24 minutes or 24 seconds after the beginning of entry interface. That blackout of 6 minutes is the period of time where we will not be in communications with the crew or receiving data from Integrity itself as it barrels through the atmosphere. We will be communicating with the crew toward the end of that 6-minute period and reestablishing communications just as quickly as atmospheric physics will allow us to. The blackout period is expected to end at 6:59 and 56 seconds p.m. Central Time, which would be 6 minutes and 25 seconds from the start of entry interface. Now, after splashdown, several activities will be occurring. First will be to ensure that the vehicle is upright in what is known as a stable 1 configuration. Whether it's upright or in some other orientation, the CMOOS bags, the crew module uprighting system bags, 5 of them that are surrounding the vehicle at the forward bay cover in a circumferential orientation. Those 5 large airbags will be inflated with helium and be inflated.
Integrity, Houston. Solar arrays are in position for the burn.
We see the same, Jackie.
The CMOOS bags, again, 5 large inflatable airbags that are inflated with helium right after splashdown. Those bags designed to maintain an upright orientation for the spacecraft. Flight controllers here in Mission Control will begin to work to power down the vehicle, also check for any leakage of toxic gas. We are not expecting any issues. Integrity's in great shape as it prepares for its homecoming 5.5 hours from now. But to ensure that the approaching Navy recovery team does not encounter any toxic gases, we will make the first check of that here in Mission Control, power down the vehicle, and we will be reestablishing communications with the crew through what is known as VLDR. You'll hear that call. It is the very low data rate that takes over from the tracking and data relay satellite system communications that we'll be using during the descent towards splashdown. It may be a period of seconds or even minutes before we establish that very low data rate with the crew following splashdown, so we'll keep a sharp ear out and obviously carry that on the Orion to Earth loops that we provide for you and have been since the beginning of our coverage with launch back on April 1st. Here in Mission Control, the focus of attention is the upcoming return trajectory correction 3 burn. That's coming up less than 13 minutes from now. We're a couple of minutes out from maneuvering to that orientation.
Maneuver.
Copy that. All is calm on board, Jackie. Thank you.
This is Mission Control Houston. While we wait for the burn, this view from the deck of the USS John P. Murtha showing some of the armada of helicopters. There will be Navy helicopters hovering over Integrity following splashdown. 2 of them to be employed in the hoisting of the crew members off of the front porch raft that will be erected alongside the vehicle following splashdown. 2 crew members, 2 astronauts for each of the 2 helicopters for the short ride back to the deck of the Murtha, where they will be brought into the medical bay for comprehensive post-flight medical exams. We'll have a lot more from the ship once we begin our NASA Plus coverage that will be simulcast with our continuing YouTube 24/7 coverage, the NASA Plus coverage beginning at 5:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Continuing with the view of the crew in the cabin of Integrity, as we are almost 7 minutes away now from the return trajectory correction number 3 burn. Integrity systems are functioning in excellent shape. The weather at the splashdown zone out in the Pacific is go and is forecast to be go. We are committed, of course, to a splashdown, that return trajectory that will enable Integrity's astronauts to splash down at 7:07 p.m. Central tonight. That was guaranteed with the translunar injection burn back on April 2nd that took the vehicle and its 4 crew members out of low Earth orbit following a 24-hour period of a high Earth orbit elliptical trajectory. At the low point of that trajectory, which was some 43,000 by 0 miles, at the low point, that's when Integrity's engine fired. The service module engine fired to break out of our Earth orbit and send humans en route to the moon for the first time since December of 1972. It also guaranteed what was known as a free return trajectory that the laws of orbital mechanics dictated would carry Integrity on a loop around the moon and its historic lunar flyby the other day, and then on the trip back to Earth, which will culminate with a splashdown this evening, 5 hours and 19 minutes from now. As you can see, the maneuver to the burn attitude has induced quite a bit of sunlight coming into the crew cabin. We're now under 5 minutes until the burn.
Integrity Orion is in burn attitude.
And it is an unbelievably spectacular view. Thanks, Jackie.
Reed Wiseman responding to Capcom Jackie Mahaffey, that attitude into the burn orientation for the return trajectory correction burn coming up in just under 4 minutes has offered the crew yet another spectacular view of the Earth growing larger in their windows.
Integrity Houston in 22.3 critical Q card. We're looking for the BFS burn ATP to no go. To go, excuse me, to go.
Good catch, Jackie. We are BFS burn ATP go, and we do not need to command the no-go on this because we're SM plus X.
Good words. Sorry about the confusion, and we see a good config.
Coming up on 1 minute till the burn. Mark, 1 minute. This is an 8-second burn with a change in velocity of 4.2 feet per second. Ten seconds. Burn underway. Good engine, good control. Burn complete.
Integrity looks like a good RTC-3 burn, and we are assessing details.
Hey, Jackie, we see the same on board, and we just wanted to give a huge shout out to that ESA Airbus team, to our friends in the Netherlands and Germany and at the Glenn Research Center. This vehicle powered us and it propelled us from the Earth to the Moon and back with extreme precision, and we are excited to be a part of your team.
Houston and centers around the world, copy. Thank you.
Commander Reed Wiseman with a shout out.
Jackie, we are ready to reconfigure our F7 SIP switches for entry, if you can give us that go.
You are go for F7 switches.
Reed Wiseman providing a shout out to the European engineering community.
Copy the go.
Which built the European service module.
And you are now maneuvering back to biased tail to sun attitude.
We see it.
That European service module will separate from the crew module this evening at 6:33 p.m. shortly after we hand over communications from the Deep Space Network to the Tracking and Data Relay satellite system. And about 4 minutes before the crew module will use its thrusters in a 19-second raise burn to lift the aft end of the vehicle into the final angle of attack for entrance into the Earth's atmosphere and the mitigation of excessive heat loads on the heat shield of Integrity. So with the final major burn having been successfully completed, the crew is now preparing to complete the configuration of the crew cabin, a final stowage capability, and an opportunity to put other items away that they will not need during the entry phase. They'll move into their entry checklist about 2 hours from now at about 4 p.m. Central Time. Events will start to accelerate in terms of time as we approach the point at which entry interface will begin.
We're going to need a copy of that photo when you guys get back. Copy them. Integrity. FIDO confirmed that that was a great RTC-3.
Outstanding. Thanks, Fido. And a second thanks to the team. That's awesome.
Integrity prop post-burn reconfig is complete. And if you were hanging out in step 23.4, you can skip it. We are in a good config.